first, the breaking news of the morning. American cities on high alert this morning after the FBI warns the state of California is now a target for Iran as it aspires to strike its coast with drones. No specific timeline or targets have been identified, but local officials are still receiving a precautionary alert. The L.A. County Sheriff Department saying, quote, in light of current global events, the department remains at an elevated level of readiness and is maintaining increased vigilance as we continue to protect our residents of Los Angeles County. President Trump was asked about the threat yesterday. Watch.
President Trump, what have you heard about this bulletin that some law enforcement put out about a possible Iran revenge plot in California where there would be some kind of a boat offshore launching drones?
Yes,
towards
it's being investigated, but you have a lot of things happening, and all we can do is take them as they come. And the war itself is being prosecuted as well as anybody has ever seen. And this is other countries telling me too. Big countries, powerful countries. They said they've never seen anything like it. And they also agree with what I'm doing. They say it's an evil country, and it's been for 47 years that way.
California Governor Gavin Newsom says he is aware of the report, but says there is no imminent threat identified so far. All of this as the crisis in the Strait of Hormuz is escalating, with the Iranians sending drones trying to take out tankers that are traveling through this critical waterway. Joining me now is Cat CEO Jeff Thompson. Jeff, thanks very much for being here this morning, and we want to get your expertise on drones and on the security required to stop these drone attacks that Iran is doing to try to stop the traffic in the Strait of Hormuz. First, let's talk about this drone threat from Iran on California. What is your reaction?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Maria. Well, we don't have any details currently, but if they're trying to launch vertical launch mechanisms off of small boats off the coast of California, it's going to be very easy to find and very easy to kill. Whether these are smaller drones like you see in Ukraine coming out of Mexico, there's certain things you can do against that, but the really small ones like FPV drones that we make and other drones you see in Ukraine are going to be very hard to battle because they're just so quick, small, and they're off-the-shelf technology, so they could be anywhere inside of California already.
Right. And that's really what I want to talk about, these off-the-shelf drones, because this conflict in Iran is testing America's ability to combat swarms of cheap drones. They are now a staple in this battle. After Ukraine and Russia demonstrated their effectiveness, defense leaders are stressing the U.S. military has been able to shoot down a majority of Iranian drones, taking out much of the capability. But, Jeff, you have Iran keeping up this fight. And you've said drones are crucial to modern warfare. Your company supplies thousands of drones to the Department of War. So what kind of security is required to stop these drones in the Strait of Hormuz, for example, where yesterday the Iranians took out 3 ships?
Yeah, well, we've proven that we can take out all their big weapons. We have the best military in the world, and we've been shooting the Archer for 10 days. But what they do with the Shahed 136 is they throw mass. They throw hundreds of them at you, expecting you to use your expensive deterrence and deplete that. So we shine everywhere except for the small drones. And with the recent administration and Secretary Hegseth, they've really stepped on the gas for us to catch up. And we are starting to catch up. And since last Monday, we've been talking to a lot of countries in that region because now the Strait of Hormuz is so important now. We don't want the Iranians to be able to hold us hostage anymore. But that's going to take not just massive ships. You're going to use small USVs. We have great USVs in the United States, including Red Cat, but there's other great USVs where you can put counter Shahed weapons on the front of those, either do port protection, if we take over their port at that small little stranglehold. And you could also do escorts with swarms of small boats, which have been very effective against the Russian fleet. So there's lots of different ways that we can do it, but it is a lot of all of the above, and we need to catch up on some of these, anti-Shahed technology as you're seeing coming out of Ukraine.
Yeah, well, tell me about that. Because, for a long time, I've been questioning why the U.S. government had been in the past buying drones from a Chinese company. DJI was one of our most important supplier of drones for the United States. Now, I know we've gotten religion. And we no longer buy, I don't think we buy these drones from DJI, which is a Chinese company. But there are so many still in our arsenal, are there not?
Yeah, so I watch your show every week, and you talk a lot about this. And we finally got the big ban done last December. It was actually very bipartisan. So now we just have to execute on that, and you won't be able to buy them. There's a lot of stuff that's grandfathered, but that's going to go away. But more importantly, we just have to make better drones than them. And companies like Red Cat and others, we are starting to get requests in war zones to replace Chinese drones. So we are catching them. We have an administration that's finally behind us. So we are now at that stage where we're going to be getting rid of these Chinese drones, which you've been talking about for a long time. And it is crucial that we get them out of our entire country, not mapping our electrical grid and doing all the other things, or even using them for any missions. We should not depend on them.
Jeff, talk about the use of these cheap drones by Iran and why they've been so effective, and what kind of security we can put in place to stop those drones. I mean, if you're talking about cheap drones that are coming out of nowhere, we don't even know where they're coming from, and Iran has been able already to take down several ships with these drones. How are we going to secure the Strait?
Yeah, the Straits, it's it's not many miles to the edge of Iran from the middle of the Strait. So these Shaheeds will come very quickly and not have much time and be very low. So some of our other weapons can't stop them. So you're not going to be able to get to them. So some of the solutions that we're hoping to help with is to have small boats, USVs that are like, 25 feet long, that have these Shaheed guns that use artificial intelligence to quickly shoot them, where a human wouldn't be able to detect it leaving and shoot it down with just a few rounds. So it would be very inexpensive, but they're doing mass, right? They're throwing 300 drones at you at a time, and you get rid of 290 of them, but 10 get through. We have to do all of the above to make sure those 10 don't get through. So you can use some of the anti-Shaheed technology that we've been hearing about, like the Wild Hornet from the Ukraine. There's a lot of great technology coming out of there. We've been working with them on stuff that we want to give our soldiers to make sure they actually work in a battlefield. But their technology, they have 10 or 12 companies that do that, and we have to start manufacturing in the same type of technology. But it's mass against mass, but it's not humans anymore. It's drone against drone. So if they have 300 drones, we need 500 drones, and these are inexpensive drones. So it's not going to kill our military budget, but that's the way we have to do it: fight mass with mass.
That's incredible. So, Jeff, do you feel that you can produce these things in enough time to be effective? I mean, one of the issues with regard to weaponry overall that President Trump has talked about is we can't even produce enough weapons fast enough to counter the adversaries that we face that are on the march across the world.
Yeah, well, if you look at the exquisite weapons, they can only make like 600 a year. And things of that nature, very expensive. But in the small drones, China makes about 4 million, Russia makes about 4 million. I think Ukraine makes even more than 4 million, and we're making less than $1 million a year currently. So we have to up those numbers, and we can. We just need to get people the purchase orders. If you can't just say, hey, make a bunch of stuff and not give us the capability to produce it. That's where we lack. But the U.S. manufacturing has been ramping up. As the recent report came out, we just opened 3 new factories. We're hiring constantly to build manufacturing here, made in USA. People are stepping up to the plate, and I think we'll be fine in about 6 to 9 months.
6 to 9 months, and we're in a war right now. Jeff, is there anything that you wanted to say that I did not ask you that's important for our audience to understand about this drone situation?
Well, I really think the emphasis on securing the Strait is going to be crucial, not just in the next 10 days or the 20 days.
Of course.
This is short-term pain. If we can secure that Strait forever and using our technology, they will never be able to hold us hostage, hold the economy, the global economy hostage by owning the Strait. We need to own the Strait.
Absolutely, and that's what President Trump said the other day. He understands this clearly. Jeff, it's great to have you. Please come back soon as we continue to navigate this war. Thank you, sir.
Great. Thanks for having me.
All right, Jeff Thompson joining us, Red Cat Drones. We'll be right back.